Well, guys, I thought we were actually told that family separation was wrong. If you guys remember back in, I believe it was 2016, no, 2018, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. And pictures came out of these children in cages. And that was during the Trump administration. And the left was furious that President Trump had these kids in cages. They were saying they should be with their families. But folks, the reality of it is that those pictures and videos weren't from the Trump administration. They were from Barack Hussein Obama and his administration. So he was actually doing that. Now, folks, we have a major problem here with immigration in this country. And President Trump is trying to do mass deportations. But of course, you guys know, apparently we elected judges and not a president. They're actually trying to hamper President Trump from conducting the mass deportations. Also, President Trump wants to end birthright citizenship. And I believe that he should. I don't believe that any illegal alien that has a kid in this country, that kid should not be a citizen. However, something happened, folks, in Louisiana. A woman from Honduras got deported. And guess what? The child that she actually had, born in the U.S., was actually brought back to Honduras with her. So what's the problem? I don't see a problem with that. Families should actually stay together, right? Well, apparently a judge says, nah, he's furious, man. He's furious. He wants that kid back in the U.S. Now, the thing is, where's that kid going to go? The kid is with his or her mother. The mother was actually here legally, folks. See, this is another problem, man, with birthright citizenship. It should not be happening. But let's go ahead, guys, and get into this. Right over here. 2-year-old U.S. citizen apparently deported with no meaningful process, judge says. You like that headline right there, right? It's because the mother and her sister, by the way, were here legally and they got deported. So what was the Trump administration supposed to do with the kid? Just kidnap the kid from the mother? I don't think so. That kid is now with his or her mother. And I believe that's the way it actually should be. Look here. It says a federal judge in Louisiana on Friday said that a 2-year-old U.S. citizen appears to be deported with her mother, so it's actually a female, to Honduras with no meaningful due process. What's the due process? I mean, this is a kid. This kid is only 2 years old. If the mother has to go, guess what? The U.S. government doesn't have any right to actually keep that kid. The mother's going back to Honduras, so the kid actually needs to go too. Now, as far as the father goes, I have no idea. More than likely, probably the father actually is from Honduras, but I'm not really sure. There's no mention of it. But anyway, in an order scheduling a hearing next month, U.S. District Judge Terry Doughty wrote that the child was sent to Honduras on Friday with a mother who had been ordered to be removed. Quote, the government contends that this is all okay because the mother wishes that the child be deported with her, Doughty said or wrote. But the court doesn't know that. Wow. And you know what, folks? Apparently, this is actually a Trump-appointed judge. Yeah. Department of Homeland Security spokesperson Tricia McLaughlin said in a statement that the parent made the decision to take the child with them to Honduras, adding that, quote, it is common that parents want to be removed with their children. Yeah, that would only make sense. The Louisiana court called a government lawyer at 12:19 p.m. local time to speak with the child's mother while the plane was in the air and was called back at 1:06 p.m. and told that mother and child were already in Honduras. The judge wrote. Doughty wrote that the May 16 hearing was in the interest of dispelling our strong suspicion that the government just deported a U.S. citizen with no meaningful process. Thing is, what were you going to do with this lady's child? Were you just going to steal the child away from the woman that actually got deported? I believe that's wrong. Tom Hogan even said it, man, when he became the border czar. He said that the parents and the children, they can all leave together. That way, no families actually separated. Wow. Says the mother and her two daughters, including the U.S. citizen who is identified as VML in court documents. So the lady actually has two daughters, and only one of them is a U.S. citizen, apparently. Okay. Were seized Tuesday morning in New Orleans by Immigration and Customs Enforcement as the woman went to a scheduled meeting with the agency. Lawyers opposed the deportation route. The family was checking in with an intensive supervision appearance program. Office, the attorneys wrote. The mother from Honduras had been freed from ICE detention in 2021 under the program, they wrote, of course, the Biden administration. Folks, deportation should actually be simple, man. If I was actually in charge, this is what I would do. You cross the border legally. We find out you did it. Instantly deported. No ifs, ands, or buts. You don't have due process because I believe due process is only for people that are here legally and citizens at that. If you cross the border, you shouldn't have any rights whatsoever. Zero. No due process. You just get out of here. It's just that simple, man. And I believe you should actually be banned from ever coming into the United States again. Now, Trump and I disagree on this because, as you guys know, Trump actually has that app. It's kind of a version of the CBP app, CBP One app that Biden was actually using to actually fly illegals in. Trump is actually allowing people to self-deport, and then they actually have the opportunity to come in the right way. I say no. These people came in illegally. They should be banned from ever coming in the U.S. again. Oh, so apparently the father of the child lives in the U.S. Says sought custody of VML after the mother was detained this week and asked that the girl be placed with a custodian who is ready and willing to take care of her in the U.S., attorneys for the custodian wrote. VML was born in Baton Rouge on January 4th, 2023, and is a U.S. citizen. The attorneys with the National Immigration Project of the National Lawyers Guild wrote. The other child is 11 years old and was born in Honduras. Okay. So that confirms that the other child was definitely not a U.S. citizen either, here illegally. But the father apparently is a U.S. citizen. So I'm very curious, guys. There's probably something missing here from this, something that NBC News is probably not going to tell you. But for the most part, guys, we know that when it comes to these children, usually these courts, man, they side with the mother. They give custody to the mother. I don't know if this woman was even married to this man. Okay? There's probably some stuff being left out, man. But like I said, man, the mother wanted the child. And so they said, all right, we're just going to let the child go over there to Honduras with the mother. That's what she wanted. See, folks, this is why birthright citizenship needs to end. It definitely does. Now, the father, by the way, it doesn't even say right here, it doesn't even say if he's actually a U.S. citizen. I just caught that. It just says the father lives in the U.S. What does that even mean? I mean, is he here legally too? I don't know. It's not saying much right there. So I got some questions, folks. I have some questions. But gonna leave it right there, guys. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we will catch you next time.